Just a reminder for our fellows, if you'd like to change your image on your Zoom to your photo, because we will be taking a photo soon. So it'd be nice to have, even if you can't open your camera, have that there. And we are live. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Obiageli Ezekwesili, fellows, partners, guests, family, and loved ones. We are happy to welcome you today to the graduation of the first cohort of the I Am Nala Fellowship, a fellowship that is committed to enabling young women in politics. It is my pleasure to introduce Rutendo Ngara, Nalafem faculty. Rutendo Ngara is chair of the Credo Mutua Foundation and an African Indigenous healing and consciousness expert. To ground us as we celebrate the fellows, Rutendo led the well-being phase of the fellowship, which grounded our fellows in the power of reclaiming Indigenous knowledge and reconnecting to their inner voices and collective passion for Africa. Rutendo, we're so happy to have you here today again to sit with us. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Reem, and it is such a pleasure and privilege to offer blessings to the young women of Africa who graduate today from the I Am Nala Fellowship. It is a privilege to honor those who walk upon the intergenerational bridge between the past and the future. And as we honor those who weave the tapestry of our continent within their fingertips, we set our minds free as we breathe. And I invite you to breathe in the values of the future. We breathe as we call in the all-pervasive spirit of Africa, the origin, the cradle of humanity, the cradle of life. We breathe in the generations of ancient ones, the forebears who sit in circle, who breathe within us, who surround us, who ignite us, who empower us. We breathe in all ancestors from 7 directions, those from the east, those from the west, those from the north, from the south, from above, from below, and from the center. We exhale. We breathe in all those great ones of Sankofa, those of the ancient past, those who are birthing an ancient future, and those who live now at the confluence of time and timelessness. We exhale. We breathe in the great mothers, the nurturers, the creators. We breathe in the great fathers, the holders, the protectors. We call in the great warriors who exist in feminine and masculine form. We exhale. We breathe in the flowing spirits of the moon and the water. We breathe in the still spirits of the earth and the mountains. We breathe in the fiery spirits of the suns, the cleansing spirits of the air and the wind. We breathe in the spirits of nature. We exhale. We breathe in the eagle, the falcon, the hawk who sees it all. We breathe in the lion heart who reveres it all. We breathe in the elephantine matriarch who remembers it all. We exhale. We breathe in the wisdom of the Nile River, the nourisher of great civilizations, the bringer of Ma'at, she who tracks first time. We breathe in the obscurity of the Niger River, who takes not the most efficient route to the ocean, but the long, winding, accommodating route, the effective route. We breathe in the power of the Congo River, who brings deepest healing from the deepest wounds of Africa. We breathe in the meanderings of the Zambezi, the mighty curtain of water in Musiwatunya, the waters of life from the great dryings of Mahadi. We breathe in Senku, the Harib or the orange, who carries the wisdoms of our ancient Barwa, the Batwa, our First Nations peoples, our common ancestors. We breathe, we exhale. We breathe in the ancient wisdoms from within. We breathe in the activism from without. We breathe in the visionaries that are yet to come. We breathe in the whisperers of Ntu, those who plant seeds, collective seeds of consciousness, those who raise Bantu, Hantu, Kintu, Kuntu into an interwoven web of connectedness. We breathe in the creative powers of our sacred spaces and places throughout the world. We exhale. We call in the voices of the great leaders of the continent, those whose tracks have long left, and those whose paths are yet to form, those who fought for collective freedoms, those who freed the struggle that is yet to come. We call in the power of the great mother warriors of Africa, those whose wombs bled into the cycles of revolution, whose breasts laid bare nourished generations into resolution, whose hearts expanded with tears of dissolution, those of the mother mind. We call in Pan-Africa, Trans-Africa, Cis-Africa. We breathe in the great baobab, the tree of life, as we call in the breath. We breathe in the cycles of creating. We call in this year, this month, this day, this hour, this minute, this moment in time and timelessness. We honor all the great ancestors who unite us all. We breathe together, dream together, see together. We recreate together, renew together, regenerate together. We are all agents of the future calling. Our inner liberation is enthralling. We are one. Tokozani, Amagu, Ashe.
Thank you so much for that, Rutendo. To open this virtual graduation, I welcome Rose Washuka Macharia, Nalafem Council Chair, to share a few remarks and greetings from Aya Shebi, founder and president of Nalafem, who's very upset that she could not be here today because of flight changes. But Rose, welcome.
Thank you very much, Reem. Thank you very much, Rutendo, for that powerful grounding. Let me start by acknowledging our chief guest, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili. Let me also acknowledge you, Rutendo, for putting us in a space of consciousness to remember and think about our history and our power. And we know that history heals our hearts, and our hearts heal our children, and our children heal our future. So we are in the right spirit. Thank you. Let me acknowledge council members, faculty, the entire NALA team, our wonderful graduates, and everybody joining us today from all corners of our beautiful world. We gather today to celebrate a remarkable achievement, the graduation of our fellowship program dedicated to empowering young women in politics. I want to extend a warm welcome to the graduation of the incredible I Am Nala Fellowship Cohort 2023-2024. When the Nalafem president, Aya Shebi, conceived this fellowship 3 years ago, there was a deep understanding that in order to support a generation of fearless, conscious, wholesome, and resilient women leaders, we needed to build a decolonial Pan-African feminist community that nurtured well-being, self-reflection, political consciousness, social justice, dignity, and equity. And this was the foundation of the fellowship and the essence of our celebration today. So please accept the greetings of Madam President Aya Shebi, who couldn't join us today, as Reem has indicated, but whose heart is with us and whose remarks I am privileged to give today. So thank you all for being here. Thank you to our graduates, to your families, mentors, faculty, and supporters who have joined us to witness this momentous occasion. Each of you has shown incredible dedication, exceptional resilience, and passion throughout this program and in your collective journeys. You have embraced the challenges and opportunities, and today you stand on the threshold of new possibilities. I would like to especially thank Dr. Obi for your continued support of Nalafem over the years and for your powerful words and lived demonstration of Pan-African feminist leadership during the Nalafem Summit in Nairobi last year. Your interactions with young women during that summit inspired many graduating today and many of us celebrating with them to make destiny of the ambition to take political office and build community initiatives rooted in our decolonial Pan-African feminist ideals. To our masterclass speakers, Honorable Boholo Kenewendo, Honorable Joanna Momombe, Aisha Yusuf, Rana Abdelhamid, and Zulekha Patel, thank you for passing on your experiences and your wisdom to our fellows in what were very emotional, very candid, and very vulnerable conversations. So to my fellow council members, our heartfelt gratitude to you for shining a light onto our fellows. You deemed every feeling of resource inadequacy that would have slowed down the implementation of this fellowship. The truth is that although we operated a zero-budget fellowship, the love, commitment, and insights from our faculty and council members delivered the skills and outcomes that we dreamed of when we first presented this to the council for approval in Abuja, Nigeria, 3 years ago. This fellowship would not have been possible without you. Thank you for volunteering your time and presence to impart knowledge to the fellows and build a solid community of practice bound by a deep understanding of issues that are often presented as too technical for young women. Beware, world, we are now the experts that we have been waiting for. But we also acknowledge that goodwill can only take us so far. For us to support these young women into politics, it means putting financing behind them. Many fellows face challenges in accessing the virtual trainings because of the high cost of internet in their countries. They were not able to meet in person to transition their relationships into deeper connections. And it is heartbreaking and worrying that we are seeing a global trend of cutting down training funding for young women in politics. We must all push in our different spaces to ensure that this trend is reversed. We must examine why young women in politics are being considered a threat to established systems of patriarchy and oppression. Is it because they are calling for transformative societal changes that would dismantle long-standing systems of discrimination and oppression? Is it because they're awakening strong public support from historically marginalized social movements that are playing a more critical role in reimagining democracy where it is more sorely needed? Is it? Although this be a day of celebration of our incredible young women's commitment and resilience, we need also to remind ourselves that we must continue to invest resources towards initiatives that promise large-scale political inclusion and empowerment. Because investing in young, dynamic women leaders who have been excluded from the political ecosystem by multiple barriers is the smarter choice. The I Am Nala Fellowship was created with a clear mission to empower young women like you to pursue careers in politics and leadership. We believe that diverse voices are essential for a healthy democracy, and your participation helps bridge the gaps that exist in political spaces. Through this fellowship, our fellows have developed crucial skills, built lasting relationships, and engaged in meaningful discourses. I am proud to say that many of you have shared inspiring stories of growth and transformation. And each story reflects the power of your voices and the impact you have in your communities. The road ahead is not without challenges, but we are here to support you in the second phase of this fellowship. Although women continue to face significant obstacles in the political arena, your journey does not end here, and you will not walk it alone. You have a family of sisters here to support your pathways as trailblazers and as change makers. So embrace that power and let it guide you in advocating for the change you wish to see and the change you wish to live in. Be candid with us when and how you need support, and we will mobilize for you. We are committed to helping you continue your journey through networking, resource mobilization, and opportunities for engagement. So I encourage you to stay connected with one another, step forward as sisters. We call upon our partners to finance capacity and support networks for young women in politics. It is dire, it is critical, it is needed, and it is urgent. We continue to build this network of young women and are looking forward to our next fellowship on silencing the guns, where together with our current fellows, we will build an army of women political and community leaders committed to peace and prosperity. Once again, I thank all our mentors, all our partners, all our supporters, our incredible council members, and our phenomenal president and Nalafem team who have made this program possible. Your belief in young women is truly invaluable, and it's truly what the world needs. Congratulations, dear graduates. Go out and shine ever so brightly. Stay engaged, lift each other up, and always remember, you are the future of politics, and you are the hope for our continent. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rose. So I know we're on a virtual platform, but yes, I'm seeing a lot of reactions and things that let's use the tools that we have on this platform. So this 1 year has been an absolute privilege sitting in conversation with all of you and getting to know the amazing work and people that you already are. We have laughed together, we have celebrated together, burnt out together, and also mourned together. I would like to welcome us to hold space for our sister Simi Olusola, an amazing politician and mother who demonstrated the leadership and spirit that we all aspire to. We will always carry her spirit and lessons with us as we work together to forge a future for the continent that she was so passionate about. We love you, Simi, and miss you. May your soul rest in eternal peace, Simi. We are here today to celebrate with you, although we cannot be physically together. It is my pleasure to welcome the fellows for their procession. Apologies, I think we're having a little bit of a connection issue. Just to my team, there's no sound. Apologies, internet issues. But we will get that up. I really want you to hear the song. I really like it. So So as we get that up and running, maybe we can move ahead. So in 2023, as Rose mentioned, during the second Nalafem Summit in Nairobi, the Nalafem community was incredibly moved and inspired by our chief guest, who gave meaning and purpose to the fellowship that we launched at that summit. Her continued leadership and support has acted as a guide and a case study to us sitting in this fellowship for Pan-African feminist leadership and what that should look like in practice. I am extremely honored today to welcome Dr. Obiageli Ezekwesili, President and founder of the Human Capital Africa, and the founder and chair of the School of Politics, Policy, and Governance, which I think some of our fellows are also a part of. It is my privilege to hand over the stage and the mic to Dr. Obi. As we try to get Dr. Obi back, I'd like us to take a virtual photo. So I know I told everybody be camera ready or have your photos on your screen so we can take a virtual photo together. And then we'll do another one when Dr. Obi comes. But let's do a practice round. It's great seeing everybody. Okay. And our team, Omom. So Omom took our fellows through a training on social media and camera, and we talked about lighting, and it's great to see that that is actually working out in practice. So Omom, please let us know when we are ready. Still see some cameras coming on.
Hello, everyone. You all look amazing. So we can just smile for the camera. And when I have taken it, I'll let you know. All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Omom. So our fellows will have there are a few fellows who have some reflections that they would like to share on their journey and how it's been really this year. Also recognizing that their work did not start at this fellowship. They were all selected because of the amazing work that they have already done, the impact that they have already made in their communities. And I'm really happy right now to hand over the floor to Honorable Evidence Zana. Yes, and virtual claps and physical claps. Honorable Evidence Sana, over to you. I think as Evidence is getting her mic connected, Nafisa Atiku, over to you.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. All right, thank you so much. So my brief 30-second, 1-minute speech about the entire Nalafem experience, I would say, and I will start from my own personal perspective. When I initially saw the application to join the fellowship, I was glad. And why was I glad? Because in my country since 2018-19, I had started doing advocacy efforts on young men and being in political spaces and political participation. And that was the motivation behind writing my book called Girls Just Want to Run in 2019, focusing on my own experience within political parties and basically serving as a call to action for more young women to belong in politics. But however, between 2019 and 2020, it was an uphill journey, and a lot of people weren't exactly hearing the message, carrying the advocacy. And sometimes I would think that, this particular point of reference wasn't worth it, but advocacy wasn't worth it because a lot of people weren't really getting the reason, and it was really important. Because I believe, and I think research has shown, that until we're able to include young women in the political and leadership conversations and pipelines in our different constituencies, communities, and nations and countries, we would never have the mass number of women in leadership positions and political office that we need to be able to push the needle on gender equality in all ramifications. So seeing, first of all, the application, it was literally like this was a program that was tailored and made ready for me to be able to channel that passion, that advocacy, and also learn from some of the best, policy entrepreneurs and advocates across the continent. So overall, for the entire 1 year, it's been an incredible experience, soaking and also building bonds of fellowship across the African continent, to be able to amplify change, political change, good change in whatever means that we find ourselves. So this is a huge thank you to the Nalafem team and the Advisory Council, and a congratulations to each and every lady that is graduating today. I wish you good luck and thank you, and we're definitely all in this together to make some change, in our respective communities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nafisa. It's great to hear from you. Just checking, Honorable Evidence Zana, you have the floor. Evidence, you are muted. There are network challenges there as well. Yes, the network today seems to be awful around the continent. But Radu, I hope you're okay. You can unmute.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. First, I'd like to extend my deepest gratitude to Nalafem Collective for granting me this incredible opportunity and recognizing me as a young African leader worthy of empowerment. Being an Amnala Fellow alongside such exceptional female leaders from across Africa is truly an honor. Amnala is more than just a fellowship. It's a major milestone in my journey as a women's rights advocate. Thanks to Nalafem, I've strengthened my sense of belonging to the African continent, gained a deeper understanding of our cultures, and even sharpened my leadership skills. Now I'm ready to begin a new chapter as I launch my initiative, Her Right to Education, to champion women's rights in education, health, and equality. Thank you, Nalafem, for believing in my potential and empowering me to take the next step forward. Thank you so much once again for Nalafem team for everything. And Thank you for my fellows, or my colleagues, sorry.
Thank you so much, Nafisa. It's great to hear from you. This has truly been a Pan-African space. I would like to check again on evidence. Is your mic working?
Yes, I think it's working.
Over to you.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Evidence Sana from Zimbabwe. So first and foremost, I would like to thank my sister in the struggle, Honorable Joanna Mamombe, for recommending me this program. And I would also like to thank the Nala team for the work that they have been doing during the fellowship, and also for being patient with us. I know it wasn't easy dealing with us. I would also like to appreciate all the speakers who came through during the sessions and the masterclass sessions. And special thanks to my mentor, Honorable Polo, for sacrificing precious time to having sessions with me. So today we are here to celebrate this remarkable achievement, that is the completion of the Nala Fellowship Program. During this program, we've shared tears, we've shared laughter, we've had transformative moments, cementing our bonds as sisters and also as change makers. And through the masterclass sessions, mentorships, and the engagement that we've had, we have honed skills as advocates, as organizers, and also as change makers. This hasn't been an easy journey, and it was a journey of healing and transformation. And I'm glad to stand here and say today that we sailed through the difficulties of the journey. And as we move forward,
I think, yes.
New journey, I would urge my fellows to remember that our voice matters. So let's use it to amplify marginalized stories, and also that solidarity is strength and is key. Am I audible? Is revolutionary. So sisters, let's not forget to prioritize, and also let's remember that leadership is not about titles, but it's about the impact that we bring to our community and our countries as a whole. And let's also remember that we're the change makers, we're the visionaries. So let's lift women of color and create inclusive spaces. And thank you everyone for making this day.
Thank you, Honorable Evidence. I think we were having a little bit of interconnections there, but we understood the essence of what you were sharing. Thank you very much. Nancy, welcome.
Hi everyone. Good morning. My name is Nancy Idehen from Nigeria. So first of all, I just want to say a very big thank you to the Nalafem team, the advisory council, and to all, Madam Obi has joined the call, and to all of my fellow graduates today. I'd say for me, joining the Nalafem cohort, this cohort has been very, very inspiring and, educative. As a young professional from Nigeria who is very passionate about change, especially public policy in my country, this fellowship came to me at the right time. I mean, just 2020 in my country, we witnessed the NSAS movement, and that singular experience changed my orientation about the governance space in the country. Of course, we had known that there was huge corruption in governments and all those other negative things, but I never imagined the inhumanity in government, how deep or how far the government can go, the extent that it can go to remain in power. And that experience left a sense of desolation in me because I started asking myself, so what next? Is this what we are going to deal with for the rest of our lives? And then because I also know that that space of desolation will not help me nor my country, I started seeking for active ways to, bring myself out of that place and then get involved in politics. And that was when I joined the SPPG, School of Politics, Policy, and Governance. After graduating from the SPPG, I knew that yes, I needed to get involved in politics. And as a young woman who followed my boss then, who was a female politician in my local government in Edo State, Nigeria, I saw how she was sidelined because she was a woman and how important it is to have a network, a community of like minds around her. And then when I had the opportunity of, encountering Ayachebi, and she told me that she had, a fellowship like this, I was doubly excited because this afforded me the opportunity to get a community of like minds, people who are like myself, people who are doing the things that I want to do, and people who have already done the things that I want to do. And then I applied, and the journey has been amazing and spectacular, to say the least. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here today. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have all of these great women across Africa doing amazing things for our continent. And I know that this is only the beginning of our advocacy. This is only the beginning of the things that we can bring to the table. I am also confident that I have a community of sisters who can help me up when I am down, who can teach me when I need to learn, and who will stand for me in places that I need advocacy. So thank you to the Nalafem team. Thank you, Reem, for you've been there from the very beginning up until now. Thank you to my fellow graduates, and thank you to Ayachebi and her team for this great initiative. Once again, it is my utmost pleasure to be here, and I'm doubly excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you to all the fellows for trusting us in this process. I'd like to recognize now, before we continue, the presence of Dr. Obi, who's here from us despite the internet issues. It is with immense honor, and I know that the fellows have been extremely excited to welcome Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, who is the President of Human Capital and Senior Economic Advisor at Africa Economic Development Policy Initiative. She's also the founder and chairperson of the IPPG, a school that Nancy just spoke about. She is the former Vice President of the World Bank, the Africa region. She was a Minister of Education and also a Mineral Resources of Nigeria. She is the co-convener of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign. She was the president, and she was a presidential candidate in 2019 elections in Nigeria. Dr. Obi's story, her presence, and the knowledge she shares has been a guide to us throughout this fellowship. And so we are really honored and happy to be able to sit in conversation with her. Welcome, Dr. Obi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm gonna try to make this work because I am not well organized today as I normally am. I arrived into Kenya just yesterday and still trying to settle down with all manners of conflicting schedule right now. So just give me a minute and I will see if I can be on Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Let's see. I just hope I have been able to find a better background than where I was. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you, and it's so great to see you again.
Okay. So this is quite lovely. I want to say congratulations to the organizers and congratulations to the graduates of the Nalafem Fellowship. I am really excited about the initiative because as those of you who know my very deep fondness for Aya would attest to the fact that in every sense of the definition of the emerging leaders in the female body, I consider Aya and her band of sisters of the Nalafem family to epitomize what I want to see of the next generation of our women, not just in our respective countries, but in a more scaled way across our continent. Forgive me. So to see that this fellowship that has been established is indeed graduating this cohort with great sense of accomplishment, I am more than excited to be able to offer a few words. I am adopting your theme for today, which is strengthening political consciousness and leadership among African women. The theme very much resonates with your mission, and it aligns with the aspirations of those who are graduating. I could see Nancy Idehen, who had been one of the graduates of our School of Politics, Policy and Governance, which Aya Shebi knows quite well, having been amongst us 2 years ago during the graduation of our class of 2022. We only a few days ago, maybe, well, 2 weeks ago or thereabouts, graduated the fourth cohort, the class of 2024, with 235 people graduating, of which 45% were women, or rather are women. The transformation of our political landscape, the transformation of our politics more broadly, our political institutions, our political system, our political beliefs, our political incentives will be the beginning of good governance on our continent. For a very long time, people assumed, and many intellectuals, including academics and academic institutions, looked on the matter of governance as though it were a siloed activity that happens outside of the context of the political consciousness and political choices of a people, especially as it pertains to our own continent. What has become very evident is that we cannot have the good governance that we desperately need on our continent without fixing the politics of our continent. And fixing the politics of our continent requires a new political consciousness and a leadership that understands the problem because it has the capacity to diagnose it accurately and then can fix it. After all, Plato did say that if he were given an hour, 60 minutes, to solve a problem, he would spend 55% or 55 minutes of that time asking the right questions. And that if he could ask the right questions with 55 minutes, the 5 minutes left on the table would be sufficient to get to the answer. And so the need for the kind of leadership that understands the problem because it has asked the right questions cannot be one that is patriarchal in nature. That need has to be one that is inclusive in nature. The need for inclusive leadership. Therefore, leadership that includes men and women. That is the basis on which we can more holistically identify the problems that need to be solved. So when your topic says strengthening political consciousness and leadership among African women, it becomes very clear that for us to go from where we are today to where we must be, where we have this inclusive leadership that has the political consciousness and therefore has the kinds of skills that are necessary for interrogating issues so that they identify what the problems are, ask the right questions of the problems, and therefore can solve those problems with the diagnostics that they have been able to generate, is one in which the women must not be missing. And so when I see what Aya and her team and her friends and her colleagues, her sisters are doing with the I Am Nala Fellowship, it gives me joy because there is a deliberateness that is necessary for responding to this need. If we're not deliberate in preparing women in the kind of way that the fellowship seeks to do, then we will not be ready. Even when the consciousness of inclusivity has become a way for us as a people. The project that you are embarking on, the Nalafem Academy, embodies 3 pillars, as I have come to know: the well-being, leadership, and innovation, and you're doing all of this through the feminist lens. The principles, combined with the kind of advocacy tools and the mental health support that the fellowship provides, is exactly what a pioneering group of women who will be prepared to have the consciousness and the tools for engaging to herald a different kind of governance space on our continent need. This fellowship is therefore more than a training program. It is, in fact, and should be, a transformative experience for you. And if I heard what Nancy was saying when I joined you, it is clear that your graduates, your fellows already see its transformative capabilities. I believe that a program that helps women to focus on those gender-specific issues that are the barriers to women emerging as political leaders is the way to go. It is heartening to see that this cohort is 20 fellows, all under the age of 40. They are people who have dedicated themselves to the mentorship, to the rigorous master classes, to the training that you have provided them. Nafisa Atiku Adejuwon is another of your students, or another of your fellows. She is also a part of the political space in Nigeria that pushes for a change of Africa's politics. The graduation of the 20 fellows from the number of countries that showed up in this fellowship is a testament to what is possible when we carry the consciousness of Africa as not just a patchwork of countries, but a continent that can act regionally in all aspects of development. Political consciousness is much more than awareness. It's actually catalytical to transformative mindset. It is about understanding the system that shapes our lives. And you can see how badly politics of a certain variation has shaped poorly the lives of the people of our continent. It is about understanding and challenging inequities. It is about taking purposeful action to hold leaders accountable. This fellowship has equipped you with not only the knowledge of political systems, but also giving you the tools with which to transform them. You now carry the strength to build and solutions. You carry the DNA of a new consciousness that things must not remain the way they are. The greatest advice I've often had for young people, but especially young women, is to be fearless. Fearlessness is a virtue because it is through fearlessness that you will dare to challenge the status quo, which is not good for the continent and its people. The status quo is not good. The capacity to say, this is not good, we have to change it, is what I hope that your training as a fellow of the I Am Nala Fellowship has bequeathed to you. Political consciousness is, however, not complete until it is anchored in integrity and an unwavering commitment to people from a selfless sense of leadership. The greatest tragedy of political leadership on our continent is that people don't lead for the common good. Majority people, even if it is 10% that are not doing so, it's enough reason to not generalize. But majority of our political class have failed integrity and the selfless leadership test. And that is why we have decadence in our political culture. That is what I Am Nala is hoping to challenge by giving you a different kind of orientation. Throughout history, African women have often been at the forefront of social change, even though the writers of history choose to narrate differently. But we do know that whether it is Tunisia, or it is Nigeria, or it is Senegal, or it is Kenya, or it is Sudan, or it is South Africa, Zimbabwe, or it is, in Central Africa, the African women have often been at the forefront of social change. What your training does is to continue in a more deliberate way to produce the next generation of women who will do even much more than their forebears. As graduates of this program, you are the embodiment of what we at the School of Politics, Policy, and Governance call the 3 Cs: character, competence, and capacity. And I hope that that's what you would demonstrate going forward. Leadership is without easy answers. Yet, courage in leadership would enable you to go beyond the given into extraordinary length to seeing that we can get the change that enables Africa prosper inclusively, be a resilient society, and one that is stable for all its citizens. My dear friends, I want you to know that we would be looking to you to push the frontiers over and over again. And I want to say to you that I will always be a friend, ready to support with counsel, with anything that is relevant, so that the community into which you now belong is not just one that is made up only of the Nalafem space, but one that connects to many other spaces that people like I can make available. I want you to know that the problems of Africa can be solved. Poverty is not our destiny. Conflicts, not our destiny. Unequal opportunities, desolation, being laggards, that's not our destiny. That can change. Aya Shebi, the founder of Nalafem, has always stood shoulders high, believing in an African future that is different from what currently exists, as she multiplies herself alongside her sisters in the collective through this fellowship. I just want to say to you that everything that is possible for us, the older ones, to do to support your more exponential growth and impact, you can assume that it is yours for the asking. To the fellows, I say, you will have a powerful political legacy. We have identified that the barriers, whether they be financial, whether they be a lack of network, whether they be a lack of political literacy, or they be rigidities within the political parties, whether they be a lack of the capacity to mobilize, whether they be the matter of communication or communicating the message of service accurately, whatever they be, these are problems that have been solved elsewhere and can be solved on our continent. So I wish you well, because that journey for you not only commences post your fellowship, but it is one that will ride higher when you recognize the power of a community. God bless you. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Obi. And I'm seeing a lot of hand clapping reactions on Zoom. So we had a practice round of a group photo, just so that we could do it nicely coordinated when you're here. So if I could kindly ask everybody to turn on your cameras, and we have Omom here, our social media manager, who will let us know when it is done.
Hello, everyone. Our camera's turned on. Okay, yes, I can see everyone. So I'll be taking this photo in 10 seconds. All right, please give me your best smile. All right, 3, 2, 1, capture. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Omom.
I hope it's okay for me to run.
Yes, it is. And thank you for coming. And we were determined to make the internet work.
Thank you. God bless you guys. Congratulations again to all the new fellows. Bye-bye.
So I'll let that sink in. I know there was a lot there to unpack, and it, as usual, is very powerful. As we let it sink in, I'd like to welcome Anita Miriam Emma Kouassi to give her reflections. Anita, over to you.
Thank you, Rio. I hope everyone is hearing me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So I just would like to share that in my role as a Nalafem fellow, I have had several opportunities to take the floor on different ways on regional and international sessions. Then within a teamwork with very exceptional other colleagues. So our common engagement in advocacy events has contributed to now several African countries' involvement in politics, on adolescent girls and young women's education, and the well-being priorities on international spheres. Then, as far back I remember my beginnings, I know that my activism was needed to be refined. Get out from the usual cycle I was used allowed me to discover first a new family of young women of various backgrounds and political boards, a wonderful people full of experience, and therefore putting myself resolutely to work, by the way, to boost my knowledge as such. So that was definitely not a foregone conclusion. I would like to thank you, Rio, that you that has been more than a tutor in this sense. you was been an attentive ear for all of us. A great tribute to your sense of listening and monitoring us as a young woman committed. At the end of this wonderful journey, that is not a farewell, just a goodbye as far. I will be always behind the benefits of which can no longer be estimated. And I wish all of us good luck and even more buoyant results for the team to continue our deep work. So thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Anita. I would like to welcome Wanjiku Thiga, our last fellow reflection, to share her insights. You're muted, Wanjiku.
Thank you so much, Rim. I'm happy to speak today. What a challenge to come also after Dr. Obi was really, really passionate about what he has spoken about, and really taken some really good notes from him. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of us, esteemed guests, fellow Nalafem sisters, mentors, and friends. Today, as we celebrate the completion of the Nalafem Fellowship, I stand here to reflect on a journey that has been truly transformative. For me, this fellowship has not been about personal growth. It really has been an empowering experience that has directly impacted my work in advocating for young women in politics. As someone who has been long committed to amplifying the voices of young women in leadership, I found that Nalafem Fellowship was exactly what I needed to elevate my impact. This program has deepened my understanding of the challenges and opportunities that young women face in political spaces, especially being a young woman who ran for office in 2022. It has also equipped me with tools to navigate complex political dynamics, sharpen my advocacy strategies, and expand my network of like-minded change makers who are equally passionate about advancing women's leadership. One of my most significant takeaways for me has been the power of resilience. Working in politics, especially as a young woman, it comes with a fair share of hurdles. But this fellowship has reinforced that these challenges can be turned into stepping stones. It has taught me to harness resilience just as a survival tactic, but also as a strategy for thriving and leading change. We learned to rise above limitations and to advocate for more effectively for young women's inclusion in decision-making spaces. The sisterhood that we've built through Nalafem has been really instrumental in this journey. The connections that we've made here are not just only professional alliances, they're also a support system. It is this collective strength that I intend to bring into my work, knowing that when young women come together, our collective voices are louder and more impactful. This fellowship has truly been a platform for collaboration, showing us that our fight for political representation is not an isolated one, but a shared struggle across the continent. Moreover, the skills I have gained during this fellowship have strengthened my capacity to mentor and mobilize the next generation of women leaders. From understanding how to craft compelling narratives that resonate with our communities, to utilizing strategic advocacy for policy change. Nalafem has also provided me with a toolkit for empowering young women to step into political spaces with confidence and purpose. So as we push for our Kenyan election system, as we push forward towards the 2027 elections and beyond, I am more prepared than ever to not only run for office myself, but also support young women to run for office, become ground mobilizers, and actively participate in shaping the future of our nation. To my fellow graduates, congratulations. We leave this fellowship not only as beneficiaries, but as ambassadors of change. To mentors and everyone who contributed to this program, especially you, Rim, and the whole team at NALA, and especially Aya Chebi, Thank you for investing in us. You have not only strengthened our capacities, but also broadened our horizon for what is possible. Together, let's continue to uplift, empower, and pave the way for young women in politics and other sectors as well. Together, we'll transform the political landscape, ensuring that women are not just present, but are leading from the front. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Wanjiku, and thank you everybody again for trusting us in this process. I'd like to turn to our council and faculty who've supported this fellowship with commitment, love, and a passion to ensure young women take up leadership. Our council members have been masterclass speakers during the program and mentors to the fellows. We are happy to have with us Nalafem Council member Oluwaseun Osowobi, who was, despite the early hour, here with us, standing with you by your sides. Oluwaseun, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Reem. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I can't be on camera. I know Nancy is in the same time zone as I am in, but for whatever reason, our weather changed this week and it's super, super dark right now. But I'm super excited to be here with you all, and I want to acknowledge everyone who has spoken ahead of me, and also acknowledge my very dear friend, Simi Olushola, who passed on. May her soul continue to rest in peace. Congratulations to all of you on completing the Nalafem Fellowship. This achievement marks a remarkable step in your journey, and it has equipped you with the valuable skills and a powerful network that will undoubtedly support your continued growth and impact. So I, encourage you to continue to collaborate with each other, keep in touch with each other, and take the lessons that you've learned from this fellowship forward as it equips you on your journey. We're currently in a world that needs more informed, aware, and enlightened women leading change. And your efforts are more important right now than ever. Your journey resonates deeply with my work because I'm currently engaged in the advocacy for the reserved bill in Nigeria in collaboration with the German embassy. And I've seen how people in the community don't believe in women's political participation. And this is where you come in, enlightening people in your communities, creating awareness in whatever areas or via whatever platforms that you can, because it underscores the necessity of women's voices in shaping policy and driving progress, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa and the continent, wherever you are, if you're outside Africa at the moment. We are seeing decrease in women's political participation everywhere. And so I enjoin you to please, not relent in your efforts, continue to advocate, continue to vie for those positions. It might be tedious, it might be tiring, it might be exhausting, but we need your voices. And as Nalafem Council members and your sisters, we are here to support you along the journey. For those I had limited time to connect with during the fellowship, I sincerely want to, connect with you even post the fellowship, and I'd appreciate the opportunity to engage with you further. So as you pass out from the program, but not from the work itself, I wish you all the very best in your next steps, and I really look forward to seeing the impact you will make in the world. Congratulations, and cheers to a better future for women and girls. Thank you.
Thank you, Oluwaseun. Yes, let's have those virtual claps and hearts on the screen. Our faculty has dedicated their time and expertise in intense information-packed sessions. Not all of them could make it today, but we thank you all. I now pass the mic to Amina Soumani to share some words on behalf of the faculty. Amina, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Reem. I think it's been really wonderful listening to all of you earlier and seeing your smiles and faces despite time differences. I can only say congratulations and well done on completing the fellowship, and also condolences to all of you on the passing of your colleague, Simi. When I wrote this note, it was unknowing that Madame Rutendo and also Rose would, begin setting the scene for us. And I wanted to begin by having you remember our grandmothers and great-grandmothers and how much they had to resist and change in terms of the status quo and breaking ceilings. And I hope that when you think of them and what you've achieved so far, you can also think of them as your contemporaries, especially if they're gone. And I hope that when you think of them, you also think of yourselves as you're anchored in the future, that you will also be remembered as revolutionaries of your time as you go on in your journeys. So to be honest, I'm really humbled to have been in your presence and to be in your presence today, because you've achieved so much already. And I can see how the future of each one of you will transform the present of the generations to come, from where you are, from the spaces you're working from where you're thinking, and from where you're being as individuals. I think that the idea of the future and our futures, which the logics of the neocolonialism and capitalism wants to narrow down and colonize, demand of us to push back. And I think that's perfectly what you guys have been or are being trained to do. I think it's important to keep remembering the power to imagine what is possible and the potential of what is to come. And I think of the words of the late Ama Ata Aidu, who said that, we are victims of our history and our present. They place too many obstacles in the way of love, and we cannot enjoy even our differences in peace. So paying attention to differences, I think, is at the heart of any project of future making. And I think it's at your fingertips as you find ways of working together with others, both on the continent and beyond. Also, as you shape new digital tools for a new world that really recognizes the human, respects it and honors it, a world that respects African feminisms and their plurality, young girls and women. So congratulations again, and I really can't wait to follow through your respective journeys and to keep celebrating you.
Thank you so much, Amina. So we have now reached the official point where we officially welcome you into the Nalafem Fellows community and a future of continued support and commitment from us as Nalafem. You may use your reactions on the screen as we virtually hand over your certificates. Just give us a second as we get your certificates ready. Okay, Akech Deborah Kursin Maniel. Congratulations. Anita Miriam Emma Kouassi. Betty Chihota. Evidence S. Zana. Judy Moniki. Memory Tapale Banda. Nafisa Atiku. Nancy Idehen Ejmohu. Nelly Chepkamoy Langat. Radwa Hosni Abdul Latif Ali. Tatum Bamba. Wanja Maina. Wanjiku Thiga Sarah. Congratulations, everybody. To close this first graduation of the I Am Nala Fellowship, I welcome back to the stage Rose Washuka Masharia, Nalafem Council Chair, to share some closing remarks.
What a phenomenal graduation we've had today. I think we take away from today's proceedings just amazing knowledge, amazing reflections, amazing energy and strength. And so yet again, I would like to remind us about sisterhood, which is at the heart of our mission here at Nalafem. And to remind us that our struggles are interconnected and that our victories are collective. And that the bonds that you have formed will serve as a foundation for your leadership. So please rely on each other, show up for one another, collaborate and find solidarity in the interconnectedness of your individual and collective experiences. And as you leave this program, I encourage you to embrace your leadership, your innate leadership gift with passion, with confidence, with boldness, and with integrity. Please stay engaged. Please remain accountable to self, to community, to the people, to God, and to the world, to the universe, to Mother Nature. Please continue to invest in yourselves, in one another, and in many, many others along your way. And the entire Nalafem Council, our president, ourselves, the Nala team, and now you, our cohort of Nala Fellows, we have no doubt that with you at the helm of politics and leadership and governance in your countries, we will feel the difference in our political institutions. So from the Nala Council members, from the president and from the Nala team who have sat with you in various points throughout the year, I reaffirm our message of solidarity and commitment to continue to support you in your various political pathways. And as we all take a moment to reflect on this incredible journey that you have shared, may this fellowship be a testament to the power of sisterhood, of belief, of choice in community and in collaboration. Congratulations. We celebrate you. We reaffirm everything that we have in your gift and in the hope that we have in you as leaders. And whenever you need us to come through in anything at any point, we'll be here to do that for you. So I wish you nothing but the best. When you are in doubt, do it. When you doubt yourself, do it. We'll be here to catch you. Or you'll be there to catch us, to catch all our countries and our entire continent, because we we're in dire need of leadership that has integrity, leadership that focuses on people, on human problems, human solutions, and that is powered by the feminine, and that is powered by you. So from us, adios. We are ready to feel your power in the world. Thank you, and God bless you.